What's going on? I put in this to say watch this video before you watch my Gator highlight of 1995 because I wanted to kind of give you a little heads up on this. Because if you just go right over there, you're going to check it out and you're going to say, this looks terrible. The video's bad, it's all fuzzy and got crackle marks in it during the recording. And yeah, it does. But I wanted to make this video first so I can explain to you why. I made this video in 1995 after the football season was over. Being a Gator fan, I taped all the games, especially back in those days. And what we had were VCR players. And on a VCR, you would use a tape like this. It's an old VCR tape. And you could get 2 hours of recording on these for a standard tape. And even those days, it's not as quality as what you guys, you young guys, are used to today. Everything's HD. The resolution is super high. The dot pit is super high. These days, 640 by 480, it wasn't even that actually. It's probably 380 by 240, the resolution back then. Don't really remember. But this was it. You could tell this tape to run normal mode at 2 hours. You could slow it to, I forgot what they call it, medium mode I'll call it. It would run for 4 hours, which means it runs slower as it's taping. Or you could tell your VCR to run for 6 hours. And it's just like today, compression. The higher compression you get, the better quality. The lower compression, like 128 bits, is going to give you not really good video or sound, depending on what you're recording. As up to 360, you're going to get a higher quality. You just eat more hard drive space, but who cares? It's dirt cheap now. But back in our days, you used tapes. And what I would do is I'd tape all the games. Was it 11, 12 games a year, and I put them all, so I'd set them for 6 hours, which meant they were fuzzy. So, even growing up through the 70s as a teenager, a lot of these television networks had these really cool opening segments to, like the Wild World of Sports they used to have back in the 70s. And they showed these really cool plays with some music on it. And in the 80s, obviously, they got even better at it. And so I thought, VCR's out, I'm going to make this video of the Gator season. It was a great season. We went undefeated, going for the national title. And I thought, man, I've always wanted to make one of these videos. And your local television stations, they could do it. They had all the equipment. We had VCRs. So I thought, I'm going to do it anyway. So I taped all the games. So at the end of the year, I literally took 2 VCRs. This is the reason the quality looks terrible. So you got to give me a break. I took 2 VCRs. I had one as the source, one's going to be the recording. And so what I would do is I'd take the games and I'd whip through the games speeding up, which was not like today. It was all fuzzy and you had a little counter. And I'd stop and say, oh, I like that play. And I'd write down what time signature it was and so forth. And I'd do that on each tape and make little notes. And what I did is I stayed up from like 11 at night till probably 6 in the morning. It took me all night to make this one video, which is about 4 minutes, 5 minutes, I guess. So what I did is I would run a cable from the output of the source to the input of the recording video and then to the TV. Then I had a CD player. I was going to take a song. And the song I used was Guns N' Roses' Welcome to the Jungle. I thought, okay, I want to run that with my cool hits and stuff, really big hits in football. Incredible season we had. I wanted to get it down. So I had to run the audio from the CD player, which they were separate CD players back in the day, into the input of the recording VCR. To make it even trickier, after I started recording, I realized that when you put this guy to VCR, it opens up. And when you hit record, it pulls this tape out up against a recording head. That takes about 3 seconds. 3 to 4 seconds. So I had to kind of time how long did it actually take, because I would get to a play on the tape and I would say, okay, this is what I want. Well, I had to hit record first, kind of picture in my mind how many seconds before those recording heads hit, and then hit play. So only get that play, and then once it passed to where I wanted to stop, I'd hit stop on the recording, and then I can go to the source, speed forward, go to the next play, same thing. Hit record here, try and get it down pat, hit play, and it was really tough. I might go a half a second too long, half a second too short. That's why it took me all night. And I did that through about 6 tapes with about 10 games. And it was tough. I can tell you right now. I'd hit play before, didn't really get where I wanted to be. Now, if you know the song, Welcome to the Jungle, there's this beginning part. And then it kicks in with the guitar. And I thought, oh man, there's just one big hit we had against Tennessee at the Swamp with Peyton Manning as a quarterback. I think he was a freshman at the time. He hits a guy right down the seam, right down the numbers. As he's looking back to catch it, he catches it, and our safety absolutely snapped him in half, hit him broad chest, and just lit him up. And I thought, I want that play right when the guitar kicks in. So if you know the song, it's a boom, there's like a big hit, and the guitar and the drum hits, goes in, and I wanted that play. So what I did is I taped how long that intro was for that song to when that guitar hit. And then I had to go to the tape and go, okay, I need, let's say it's 30 seconds. I had to make 30 seconds worth of stuff and match up with that hit perfectly. So I didn't want any plays going on before that hit. So I got, out of all these tapes, I started looking for like fan reaction and videos of the stadium or just the beginning that football games used to have on TV. They kind of show the crowd. So I figured out, okay, let's say it's 30 seconds, and I'd hit, record, play, and I'd get what I thought was 30 seconds and say, okay, then from that point, I got all the plays I want, back to back. There's no cutting and pasting like in your programs today. You pull them up, you pull a video, you cut, you stick it in the little box, it's done. I had to hit stop, record, stop, record, stop, record all the way through these games, getting just the plays I want, get them to record what I want and stop when I want. You know how TV shops will change to something, and I don't want somebody's face where I want just the end of the play before they show the crowd. So finally, after I don't know how many hours, I got it all lined up. I said, okay, now I got to add the audio. So I took this tape that I had it all lined up on, and now a fresh tape, and I had to hit record, and then hit the play button on the VCR and the play on the tape at the same time, so that video and audio started at the exact same time. So when that 30 seconds hit, if it was 30 seconds, I don't know what, it could be longer, but I'm just saying it's 30. So that thing hit in, and I would hit it, and it'd be a half a second off. I was like, dadgummit. Just move forward to a new fresh part of the tape, try it again and try it again. It probably took me 8 or 9 tries, so I figured record, hit those 2 buttons that lined up, and when that hit came, it was perfect. So the reason it's all fuzzy is because I was recording on slow speed with this to get 3 games on one tape, so the quality's terrible also. And after you record on a tape, from a tape to a tape, from a tape to a tape, you lose quality. That's just how these things work back then. It's a magnetic tape, and you lose the ability to keep taping on these things. So just want to let you, I love the video. I think it turned out great for those days. So if you see it today, I hope you give me a break on the video and the audio, because it's old, it's cracky, it's kind of, the colors aren't real bright and vivid like you would have today, but it's really cool. For that day when I got done, I thought, man, that really turned out well. I look at it today and I'm like, oh my goodness, I think these guys on YouTube are going to kill me over this. So maybe I ought to make a video and tell you how I did it and why it looks cracky. But to pay attention when it starts, and let me know if I hit right when that guitar kicks in. You're just going to see that free safety hit that wide receiver after he catches the ball, and I wanted that boom like it happened. And I'm curious if you think I matched it up. Like I say, it was tough. 2 records and then 2 plays and a record, try and get those linked up. And so many times I had it a half a second, like your guitar would hit and then the video. I thought, oh no, I want it right on. It took me a long time. So let me know what you think. It was fun making it, but it took me a long time. Great season. So I always want to put one together. And then I've got a couple other ones I did the next year. I think we ended up playing Florida State in the national title. We beat them. I made one for that. And then we had a game the next year against Tennessee. It was like a really big time game. And we just hammered them. I thought, I'm going to make one on that too. But I'm going to do this one first. And so check out I think I'm going to name it something like 1996 Gator video or something like that. So I was going to put this in front of the video, but it's too long. And people say, I don't want to whip through this, just get to the video. So hopefully you watch this first to understand the quality or lack of quality on the video. Alright, let me know what you think.